Easter update, and it actually looks way better than I expected. There's a lot of new stuff coming. Not just basic items, but new systems, a new event setup, and even a new type of currency, which is going to change how people play during the event. Let's start with something simple, but actually really useful: the Update Log UI. From now on, every time a new update drops, you're going to see a UI pop up showing what's new. This is super helpful because instead of guessing what got added, the game literally tells you everything right away. It also helps new players understand what to do during events without being confused, so this is a small change, but a really smart one. Now let's move on to the main part, the Easter event itself. First, we have the Easter event platform. If you've been playing for a while, you'll probably recognize parts of it because the old Easter shop is back, and yes, the Venus flytrap is back too. But this time, the whole event works a bit differently, so it's not just a copy of last year. There are 3 main NPCs in this event. You've got the shop NPC, the Venus flytrap, and the bunny NPC, and each one plays a different role. Starting with the Easter shop, it works pretty similar to last year. You can buy seeds and gear, but the items themselves are new and themed around candy and Easter stuff. Some of the seeds include candy carrot, chocolate berry, gumble, sugar melon, licorice, gummy cactus, sour lemon, and egg fruit. Out of all of these, egg fruit is probably going to be the most important one. It's basically like an upgraded version of candy blossom, so if you're trying to make progress or get better items, this is definitely something you're going to want to grind for. Now here's where it gets more interesting. The shop uses a brand new currency called Choco Coins. You can't just buy stuff normally anymore. You actually have to earn these coins. So how do you get them? It's pretty simple. You grow Easter fruits and then sell them to the bunny NPC. The more you farm, the more Choco Coins you get. This basically creates a loop where you plant, grow, sell, and repeat. It's simple, but it's going to keep players grinding during the entire event. The best strategy is probably going to be stacking up on something like candy carrots early, growing them fast, and just constantly selling to build up your coins. The faster you do this, the faster you unlock the better seeds. Now let's talk about the Venus flytrap NPC, which is honestly one of the coolest parts of the update. When you interact with it, you get a special UI where you can feed it fruits. In return, you get something called a premium seed pack, specifically the Easter seed pack. This pack contains multiple possible seeds, and there are 7 different ones you can get from it. But it's not just about giving any fruit. The system requires weight, similar to what we saw in the Buzzy Bees update. That means bigger and better fruits will give you better chances or faster rewards. So players are going to need to actually focus on growing strong crops instead of just spamming random ones. This is where sprinklers and boosts are going to become really important. If you want to maximize your rewards, you're going to need to prepare your farm and optimize everything. Now for my favorite part of the update, the Easter Garden. To access it, you go to your save slots and load the Easter 2026 Garden. This is basically a completely themed area just for the event, and it looks really clean. You've got Easter fences, theme signs, and even special soil that matches the event vibe. But there are some important rules here. You can only plant Easter plants in this garden, and you can't place pets. At first, that might sound annoying, but it actually makes things more balanced. It forces everyone to play the event the same way instead of relying on overpowered setups. It also makes the event feel more unique, since you're not just using your normal farm, you're playing in a completely different environment. Now let's quickly go over how the plants actually look. You've got candy carrot, chocolate berry, gumble, sugar melon, licorice, gummy cactus, sour lemon, and egg fruit. All of them follow the candy and Easter theme, and honestly, they look really cool. This update definitely focused a lot on visuals, not just gameplay. Overall, this Easter update is shaping up to be one of the better ones. It has a full gameplay loop, new currency, new mechanics, and a unique event area. It's not just a basic update, there's actually stuff to grind for and systems to learn. That's the video. Subscribe! Today we're talking about the game that changed Roblox forever, and that game is Steal a Brain Rot. At its peak, this game didn't just do well, it completely dominated the platform. It reached a staggering 24,127,405 players at once, breaking records, and even surpassing what Grow a Garden achieved. That's not just impressive, that's history being made. When a game hits numbers like that, it's no longer just a popular Roblox game. It becomes a global event. Everyone is playing it, everyone is talking about it, and it feels like you're part of something massive. But the real question is, how did Steal a Brainrot get to that level? The first reason is the gameplay. Steal a Brainrot is built around a simple but powerful idea. You collect characters called Brainrots, which are inspired by internet memes, and you either buy them or steal them from other players. That one mechanic created a mix of offense and defense that made every moment feel unpredictable. You're not just grinding alone. You're constantly watching other players, planning your next move, and trying not to get your own stuff stolen. That tension is what made the game so addictive. On top of that, the game introduced systems like traits, which allowed players to upgrade their Brainrots and increase their value. This added a layer of strategy, making the game more than just clicking and waiting. Players had to think about what they were doing, which kept them engaged longer. But gameplay alone wasn't the only reason it blew up. Another huge factor was social media. Platforms like TikTok and YouTube played a massive role in the game's success. Clips of players stealing rare Brainrots, getting insanely lucky, or reacting to crazy moments started going viral. These short, chaotic, and funny clips were perfect for grabbing attention, and once people saw those clips, they wanted to try the game themselves. This created a cycle. More players joined, more content was created, and even more players joined after that. The game basically fed itself through social media. And then there's the concept of brainrot itself. The term originally described the feeling of consuming too much random internet content, but the game turned that idea into something fun and collectible. It was relatable, especially for younger players who already understood that kind of humor. So not only was the gameplay engaging, but the theme itself connected with the audience. All of these things came together at the perfect time. The gameplay was simple but addictive. The social media presence was massive. The concept was relatable, and the player count kept growing. And eventually, it led to that insane moment where the game broke records and hit over 24 million concurrent players. That's not something you see often, not just on Roblox, but in gaming in general. Steal a Brainrot didn't just succeed, it changed what people thought was possible on Roblox.